all use math every day. To predict weather, to tell time, to handle money. Math is more than formulas and equations. It's logic. Math is more. Rationality. It's using your mind to solve the biggest mysteries we know.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
That guy that killed the girl last month? I had to dream about him last night. I swear, I saw him. It's quite distinct. Had, bald kind of head. Stand. Man, the guy was black. Big black guy with afro, corn
Bureau of Investigation.
I think he might be my neighbor. He's in and out of his apartment all during the night.
Yes, white dude. Had a bald kind of head.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Strong. I only saw him from the back.
I have information about the
Hey,
rapist.
what's my building? The guy had a scar to his eyebrow. You know what I'm
Federal Bureau
saying?
of Investigation.
Big white guy.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Talks about all the killings.
Unidentified Caucasian female, approximate age 25 to
Asphyxiation due to
27.
strangulation. There are also indications of sexual assault.
Preliminary DNA results from semen found on the body links this case to your 12 other rapes and the previous murder 5 weeks ago.
A witness saw a guy in the area the day before the body was found. His face was covered with a scarf. Right. Like all of these.
We found this tire print, P-metric 185 70R14. You'll find this tire on over 100,000 vehicles in the region.
We got 20,000 tips from the public, phone calls, emails, handwritten notes in invisible ink. The profiler says that now that the perpetrator has escalated the violence of the attacks, he'll continue killing. We won't have survivors, just bodies.
Boston PD wants all the help they can get. I'm putting more agents on this. Bring them up to speed.
There have been 12 rapes, 2 murders in 16 months, all linked by DNA that doesn't match anyone with priors in CODIS or other criminal databases. There's little good evidence. Guys, this is one of the tough ones. It took 20 years to get the Green River Killer. 17 for the Unabomber. Never got the Zodiac. But we'll break a lead on this. We will get this guy.
The medical examiner will have an ID on the latest victim within 48 hours.
When it comes in, David, build a comprehensive victim profile.
Got it.
Terry, work up comparisons against serial cases around the country.
That should give us a large database to work from.
What else have we got?
Besides the DNA, the only hard evidence we have is the locations.
We haven't found patterns in the crime scenes, but I'm wondering if there's anything we're missing here.
Not according to the profiler. He says it's random victim acquisition.
Which means his nut acting on impulse.
Yeah, he could be, but before we let it go, I want to make sure. I want to show it to Charlie.
Your brother?
He was great on the Bay Bank embezzlement case.
And that IRS guy, the one who was skimming returns.
Yeah, he's great with numbers. But this is not a numbers thing.
Let's find out.
Why bother with math?
People ask themselves, why bother with math? I'll never use it after I graduate. And in a way, it's true. But we know that math is more than formulas and equations. It's using your mind to solve the biggest mysteries we know. Understand math. And you can understand everything. Don.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we talk in private?
TJ.
I tried calling you at home, your office, and cell phone.
So what do you want?
I need your help.
Guys, we're gonna have to call it an early day. We'll just finish this up tomorrow. So you're all dismissed. Thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen. You after another CEO making off with his company's funds?
No. Not this time. I need you to take a look at this.
What are these dots?
The black ones are rapes. The red ones are bodies. We were hoping this map might tell us something.
Like what?
Like the location of the next attack.
I wouldn't think so.
Maybe somebody else in your department could help me.
No, I'm the one to talk to. I could perform predictive analysis with this data.
Are you sure? I mean, is this really a numbers thing?
Everything is numbers.
Explain how it works.
Well? Hey, you see the sprinkler? Okay, well, there's no way to tell where the next water drop will land, right? I mean, there's just too many variables. But if I couldn't see the sprinkler, from the pattern of the drops, I'd be able to calculate its location.
Are you saying you could tell us where the killer lives?
Within a range of probability.
Charlie, I can't afford to waste time on a long shot.
This is not a long shot. You just need to acquaint me with everything you know about serial crime.
All right, buffer zones. Buffer zones are areas around a perpetrator's home or workplace. He doesn't select victims or dump bodies in those zones.
What's all this crap? It's my dining room table, not a home office. How's it going?
It's good. Charlie's helping us with it.
Doesn't the FBI have people who can do this?
It's an advanced application.
Distance decay. The more intensity an attacker feels about his crime, the further he's willing to travel.
You said you'd get your own place as soon as you were settled at the university. That was a long time ago.
Been checking the classifieds, Dad.
Now, what are you looking for? Cheap townhouse on Beacon Hill?
Intensity is judged by what he's made them do, like their injuries.
Well, enlist the attacks by intensity.
Who's up?
Garcia Parra.
Nomar's gone 4 games without a hit. He's due.
There's no statistical evidence for a batter being due.
Here we go.
The probability of obtaining a hit based on recent at-bats is non-correlative. You can look it up.
So you get the fastball, it's gone. Nomar! I guess Nomar didn't look it up. What are you writing?
What you've been telling me.
I don't see how this works.
Same way everything works. Objects react to forces, planets, molecules, people. Quantify the forces, you know how they move.
All right. Well, the most powerful force driving the suspect is the need to find victims. Early in the cycle, incidents might occur close to home, others far away. As the cycle matures, buffer zones tend to stabilize. He watches potential victims. He follows them, waiting for moments of isolation, always avoiding detection.
Set up a program to run it, see what we get.
Is that it?
No, it's a start. I'll need to test it. It has potential to be a significant analytic tool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I gotta go. We'll finish this later.
You two never worked well together.
Didn't try very often.
Goes back to when he was 8 and you were 4. You started correcting his math homework.
Well, I wasn't going to let him hand it in like that.
The victim, Meredith Ann Lucchese.
25. She was a fitness trainer. Reported missing 8 days ago. The map is based on an equation which quantifies what we know about the killer. He has to live somewhere. That's his base. When picking places to commit a crime or dump a body, he seeks out random locations. Otherwise, he risks revealing clues to where he lives.
Seems pretty obvious. I'm not sure where this gets us.
You four, come on up here. Distribute yourselves randomly across this area right here.
You mean spread out?
Mm-hmm.
Like this?
Exactly right. And completely wrong. And you know, I'm not surprised to see you've made this mistake. You've distributed yourselves at equal intervals, while random sequences include clusters.
So when you try to make something look random...
Well, it's not easy. Your target tried, but like you guys, he went for roughly even spacing.
Are you saying there's a pattern?
Yep. And that pattern will reveal places he's trying to hide, such as...
His residence.
I color-coded the map according to the probability that each area has of being the subject's base. Yellow's the hot zone, it's 4 city blocks.
I had a feeling about Brookline.
It's preliminary, but it's based on the data that I got from Doc.
Wait. So you know what neighborhood the guy lives in based on an equation?
Charlie, this is nuts. That makes sense. Makes more sense than this. Well, you can't win if you don't buy a ticket. Sure you can. Find a ticket somebody lost. The odds of finding the winning ticket are, for practical purposes, similar to the odds of this one being the winner. I mean, it's basic statistics that the 8th grader should be able to manage. Oh, is that so?
I want to show you something. Come on.
You never know.
I've been looking at the chronology, and I think he's acting at regular intervals, though nobody else here agrees.
2 attacks separated by 5 weeks, then a third at either a 3-week or a 7-week interval. Boy, I'm surprised you saw that. It's a complex and eccentric regularity.
I've been looking at this for a month. You get it in a minute.
Well, it's not entirely consistent. There are some gaps here.
Yeah, but if I'm right, the next incident should be soon. Should be a week.
You're right. 7 to 10 days.
How does this work?
Charlie's equation takes the 14 crime scenes and he works back from them to the killer's base.
Like reverse engineering?
Well, he's factored in bureau theories on serial crime and what he knows about random distribution.
And you think he's right?
Well, he's made 2 major theoretical breakthroughs by the time he was 20. He's the youngest full professor of math on the East Coast, and I can count on one hand the times he's been wrong.
How do you argue with that?
Trust me, you don't.
So how do we use this?
49 males live in that yellow zone.
We can run down backgrounds and DNA on that many guys pretty fast.
Okay, let's do it. Just keep the rest of the investigation moving.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Let's a go. On these 49 guys, let's get records. Links to victims. Check if any have DNA on file. No. For the rest, we'll be picking up coffee cups and cigarette butts.
Timothy Everson, 36, moved here 2 months before the first rape.
What the hell kind of construction worker doesn't throw stuff on the ground?
Man that careful is either a very good citizen or a real bad one.
Hi. They have these things now called PDAs where you can organize your schedule, and they can even ring an alarm to let you know when you're about to miss a meeting. Because this whole absent-minded professor thing is so back to the future. What's this?
I'm helping out my brother.
The hunky Fed? Are you consulting on another FBI case?
Serial rape and murder.
An algorithm calculating a base point from a series of functions defining movement and location. Deep.
We'll test that on a case that's been solved and see how accurate it is. Amita, can you help me with some new triangulations? Don's already running with this, and I've got to make sure it works.
You realize your meeting with Rovic was 40 minutes ago.
Dr. Robick. I'm so sorry.
I need your work on the NSF proposal. There is 11 million in funds at stake.
I'm doing some work for the FBI.
Your work here takes precedence over outside jobs. This trip's been on the calendar for months.
Calendar. You'll need to excuse me.
3-week or 7-week drill.
Your brother's freaking me out. Calendars. Wonderful analog mathematical tools. They create a universal timeline for societies by interpreting astrophysical movement. See what I mean? You know, calendars aren't based on easily divisible factors. You know, they originally tried to make them like that. 360 days divides very evenly, but that doesn't match up with what you see in the night sky. So, ancient calendars would add a month every 8 years or tack on 5.
Charlie.
Remember I said that the pattern in the timeline was not entirely consistent. Well, I don't know, that's just been bothering me. Why the handful of breaks?
Hey, Carnett, come on, why don't you just tell us?
You discovered something about the timeline. What is it?
The black circles are known attacks. The green circles are where there should be attacks, but there aren't. And what I'd like to ask you is, how do you know there aren't?
You think the list isn't complete?
This pattern suggests you've missed some.
Or maybe it's not as pretty and neat as you think it is.
We'll look into it. Forget about the timeline a second. I want you to take a look at what we've done with the hot zone map.
We found a lot of links for the victims.
Bunch of these guys look real good, Charlie.
Only the leads involving one person mean anything. It's like trying to find a diamond in a pile of broken glass and being excited because you see so many sparkly objects.
Right.
Take any 50 men, list details of their lives. You'll find correlations between them and 14 women from the same city. You know, you fixate on coincidences. It's a common thinking flaw.
That's a basic tenet of investigation. You find connections between victims. You identify the factors that link them to suspects.
You're making it sound like everything's just random.
No. No. There are patterns everywhere. Clouds, crystals, snowflakes, a nautilus shell. Each round of the spiral, a precise logarithmic function of the previous one. The petals of a daisy, spiral in what's called a Fibonacci sequence. Each number, the sum of the preceding two numbers, and the ratio of each term to the one before it, approximately 1.61803, what the Greeks called the golden ratio. It shows up in the pyramids at Giza, Parthenon in Athens, and this index card, a rational understanding of the world, does not make it less amazing. Quite the opposite.
Wow. Was he like that growing up?
You have no idea.
It's a game of probability. The target is specific. If I'm off even a little, the zone shifts and there's a change in 30 to 50 suspects. And that's a problem because the guy's going with the first set of guys.
Now, why is it we remember the past and not the future?
Hi, Larry.
Are these for me?
No, Larry.
Where's my canonical quantization? I can't prove my dark energy principle without the necessary mathematical breakthroughs. You are quite possibly the only person who can provide them.
Some physicists do their own math, Larry. Einstein, Feynman.
Hurtful.
All your food is white.
I prefer white food.
Why?
Supersymmetry.
What does supersymmetry have to do with your lunch?
Conversation drift.
Sorry.
May I ask, what so obsesses the celebrated Professor Charles Edward Emmerich that he no longer has time to help his friend, his colleague, Dr. Lawrence K. Fleinhardt, win the Nobel Prize for Physics?
I'm helping the FBI solve a serial rape and murder.
Professor Emmerich, you seek the Nobel without me?
There is no Nobel Prize in mathematics.
Oh, that's so sad.
Nobel's mistress had an affair with a mathematician. He didn't want to see the prize go to his rival. So we're all aced out just because one of us was good in bed.
Well, it's extraordinarily beautiful, but you're missing something.
I've factored in numerous behavioral qualifications.
No. It's hidden. Whatever's missing lies beyond this equation. Now, this understands the behavior of violent sexual offenders.
Right.
Okay, but you're seeking to quantify the behavior of an individual. Now, as grotesque as his crimes might be, they're just one aspect of his life. So, you might want to consider, what does he do when he's not doing this?
We've cleared 41 suspects.
Still got 8 to go.
How long till he hits again?
5 to 7 days.
The enhanced shoe print from the Lucchese crime scene. Athletic shoe, size 11.
Good. Find the manufacturer. Let's get sales records. David, did you check those green circle days on the timeline where there should be attacks but aren't?
Look what I found. Woman surprises a prowler outside her residence. His face was covered with a scarf. He fled when she put up a fight.
I want to talk to her.
Already on it.
That guy Everson, our construction worker, before Denver he lived in Seattle. Ex-wife there got a restraining order on him. He's got 2 aggravated assault charges on his record, and, you ready for this? 1 attempted rape.
You just made the top of my list.
Don, I've refined the equation. I've got a shift in the hot zone.
What do you mean a shift?
It's more accurate now.
Oh, don't give me a whole new 50 guys.
Don, more accurate means it works better.
Charlie, I get it, but we don't have the time or the manpower to chase down more people. Plus, it doesn't look like we have to. We have a strong lead now.
Can I just...
No.
Mike, you remember that case from last month where the waitress was found by the cops half naked and half dead on the Esplanade?
Yeah, the one who worked at Ocean Market.
Hey, man just walked in here with a denim jacket and a baseball cap.
Yeah? You ever seen him before?
Yeah, sure. He's doing some work here, some remodeling or something.
How long?
A month.
Great, thanks. A history of sexual assault and a direct link to one of the victims. That should be enough to get a search warrant, don't you think?
Let's see. Warner, Rush, Journey. Me and this creep. Same exact taste in music. How horrifying is that?
Hey, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
We need those test results.
It should be any minute now.
Where is he? You found him based on my map?
Yes, he lives in your hot zone, but it's more than that. He has a record of violent sexual assault. He battered his ex-wife. He works in a restaurant where a waitress was attacked.
That describes any number of men. It's circumstantial.
Could you wait in the investigation room, please?
All right. I understand. It's not a DNA match. It's not Everson. That was our last suspect in the hot zone that we hadn't cleared.
I guess this finishes the line of the inquiry, huh?
No. I'll run it again with tighter parameters.
No.
You guys can do a fast search.
That's my decision, not yours.
This isn't about you and me.
No, you're damn right it's not. It's about the 14 lives damaged or lost. If we don't find this guy, there's gonna be more. I know you hate it when you're wrong, but that's just the way it is, okay? Just tell me, are you right about the pattern to the timeline?
Yes.
All right, then.
Don, the witness from the Prowler incident, she's here. It's a case from a timeline gap.
I was in my studio. I heard something. I looked out the door, and there was a man. I hit him.
With what, Miss Connor?
The crowbar. I work with metal. He said, "You hit me, that hurts." And then he ran.
I bet he did. Can you describe him?
6 foot, medium build. His brown hair cut short. And he had a scarf on his face, but it slipped when he fell. Oh, there was a footprint in the yard, and I thought it might be evidence, so I took a picture. The police said it was just a prowler. They weren't interested.
Did you see a car?
Yeah, but I didn't get a good look at it. It was some kind of dark sedan.
Did you notice anything else? Did you notice anything about his voice and accent?
No accent. But his voice was kind of deep, you know? It was really like low and smooth. This was just a peeping Tom, right?
You don't do this stuff, do you?
I do computer science work. I specialize in numerative combinatorics and graph theory.
That's the chow mein. You still helping Don? I thought that didn't pan out.
My equation's his best chance of catching the killer.
Right. Uh-huh. This your girlfriend?
I'm her thesis advisor.
I think you should ask her out. She seems awfully nice.
Well, for starters, it's against university rules.
Screw the university. Being alone's not fun.
I want anyone arranging my love life, I'll go home. My parents expect me to marry my dad's junior business partner.
Are you going to?
God, no. He's a total ass.
Are you going to be a pest all night long because
Relax.
since I don't have work to
some
do?
chow mein. Donnie knows what he's doing.
The probability of his investigation finding the guy before he commits another murder is 1 in 10,000.
And you can do better?
1 in 5?
Well, there you go.
Forensics just matched a shoe print from the Connor incident to the one taken from the Lucchese scene. That means we got a physical description of him. He drives a car. Showed this to gas station attendants. Canvass where attacks have occurred.
Let's show this to the victims. One of them's gonna know this guy.
Exactly.
You're seeking to quantify the behavior of an individual.
Adjusting for variations in pedestrian density.
It's the behavior of violent sexual offenders. Whatever's missing lies beyond this equation.
Miss Carson, do you recognize this man?
He had his face covered.
Maybe he'd been around.
Yeah. He used to come in here.
What do you remember about him?
His voice was deep, like a radio announcer's.
Witness saw a gray or a light blue hatchback. Now, we're running down similar cars, okay? We're cross-checking owners with suspect lists and people who later bought dark sedans.
We're getting there. We're gonna find this guy.
We need time to show this composite, run down vehicle records, track everything we're bringing in. At least a week, and there's gonna be another dead woman right about here in 48 hours.
Agent Pickering.
Dr. Emmerich.
The equation's more powerful now. If you'll give me the newest data, the yield will be more accurate.
It's Don's call.
Science doesn't work in terms of guarantees. It's a process. He doesn't understand what I do.
From where I stand, Don's decision looks pretty good.
You're ignoring my approach because it doesn't fit into your concept of investigative procedure or...
You may be very good at what you do, but you don't know anything about how we run an investigation.
You see this price list? I can tell you that the person who came up with it likes the numbers 3 and 7. He used them with a frequency not explained by random pricing. I know when numbers are real. I know when they're made up. That game's designed to make people think they've got a 50-50 shot at winning, when really the odds are 3-1 for the house. He can't lose. Just while we've been standing here, approximately 60 people have passed. From that sampling, adjusting for variations in pedestrian density, I can tell you that between 5 and 9 p.m. tonight, 2,350 people will pass the spot with an error margin of 20. The equation's just one tool. There are dozens of applications I can develop. You've opened the door to a whole new world. Don't close it.
You take a file from my office?
I needed information.
It's investigative material. It's a violation of federal law. And you went to Pickering over my head?
Don, listen to me.
You know that's going on my record, right?
Don, listen.
That's a mark against my career because I brought you into this case and you got completely out of control.
I'm sorry.
Where is it? Where is it? And your bureau pass.
I should have gone to Washington with Dr. Rovick.
Well, how do you know you're not there?
That's too deep for me today, Larry. My head hurts.
How's the equation coming along?
And you know how you can feel it when it's right. It's not right.
Well, now, you're a mathematician, and you're always looking for the elegant solution. But life is full of these odd bumps and twists. Elegance, that's a human concept. It's not reality. You know, before 1609, it was elegant and simple to believe the whole universe revolved around the Earth. Till Galileo noticed these moons orbiting Jupiter. Well, that complicated things. You see? Perhaps you need to complicate the equation. Just make it less precise in order to make it more precise.
Charlie had it. Can you believe it? I don't know what he was thinking.
You know, back in junior high, we'd stuff guys like him headfirst in the trash cans.
Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Don, I want you to know that I'm not trying to take sides here. And I'm certainly not defending what Charlie did. But it's hard for anybody to get taken off a case, especially a case like this one.
Dad, is Charlie around?
He's in the back. What the hell happened with you two?
It's all my fault. I knew if I showed him the crime scene map, he'd be obsessed trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, he can't quit anything once he gets going. Still trying to solve a problem he's been working on since grade school.
What problem is that?
How to impress his big brother.
Hey. Want a beer?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
Don, man, I need your help with this.
What is it?
You couldn't find the killer in the hot zone because I've missed something.
Well, I don't understand the math thing, not the way you do.
It's not the math, it's the part you understand. Trying to find out where the killer lives isn't enough. What are we missing?
A serial offender is obsessive. Always thinking about his crime, looking for the next victim. But no, not just at home. Constantly. Can't you make an equation search for 2 hot zones? His home and where he works?
You can feel it when it's right. Okay. We've got the original zone and a new one here.
Yeah, this is the industrial area, so this makes sense. You got this from the 14 known incidents?
Plus 5 cases you found by investigating gaps in the timeline, a total of 19.
Charlie, we've already cleared the guys from the Brookline area.
Yeah, but it's not either area alone. It's the connection between the 2 zones that's important. Check guys who work in this area. You'll find one with a link to Brookline. That'll be him.
You're that sure?
Yes.
All right.
Tech Industries.
Special Agent Michael Shea with the FBI. I need to talk to your personnel department, please.
Special Agent Terry Donalds of the FBI office. I need the names of all Global Marines male employees.
Addresses and work records for male employees.
Lawrence Doherty, 1380 Summer Street. Store, 550.
Department. Madam.
This is
Roland.
Special Bennett,
Porter.
Roland,
Kenneth.
Porter, Kenneth,
Amani.
Amani,
Michael.
Saka, Walter, Abbott, Robert, Olney.
This guy lives in the north end, not Brookline.
He lives in North End now, but guess where he used to live?
Brookline. That'll be him.
You can keep the change. See you later.
Sir, please don't touch the glass.
Yeah, we're in front of this place right now. Great. Thanks. It's a match.
We missed him because he moved.
Well, his first map was right. Just couldn't tell us that.
Hello, Professor Emmerich.
The solution to your equation. You did great work.
You gave me great data.
You wouldn't have any ideas on how we could use math on other cases, would you?
I've been trying to tell you. Everything is numbers.
We all use math every day, to predict weather, to tell time, to handle money. Math is more than formulas and equations.